Hello beautiful people, how are you? This is Pretty in Pink. Thank you for visiting and welcome to my channel. The last video I did was called Ascension Stories Vibrations, and at the close of that video I mentioned that that not everything that I experienced was great, and I'm going to go briefly into some of the symptoms that I have been feeling as a result of this experience. First I'll go through some of the things that I've been feeling in general. I've noticed that right after I've been having these vibrations, just the mild vibrations, I've noticed that animals have been reacting differently to me, animals that I've been in contact with before, and animals that I've never seen before. I've been hearing a buzzing sound in my ear, pretty much non-stop. Sometimes it gets pretty loud, and where it's like overwhelming, and other times it's pretty mild, where I have to stop and listen to see if it's still there, but it's always there. Sometimes it's in stereo, but usually it's in one ear. I have been sometimes feel like weightless. I used to have digestive issues, but I no longer have that. And I've been feeling like a lot of a shift in my diet. I for some reason no longer eat the things that I used to eat, and it's not as though I don't want to eat it, it's like I can't eat it. Actually, I feel convicted to not eat it. But if I do go back and do eat it, then I wouldn't realize that my body no longer reacts well to it, and I end up feeling sick, and maybe for a couple of days or so. Since the very intense vibration that I had, I think it was around Thanksgiving, a couple of days after that I started having really intense headaches. It doesn't happen all the time, but maybe about 2 days following the intense vibration, I had a headache lasting for about 2 days. I also had a great influx of information. It was though I was being told things. I also realized that some of it was actually very inaccurate, while others were spot on, and I was very displeased with how this was. So I ended up getting on my knees and praying intensely that this does not sit well with me, and I pray to God, to remove this from me until I was ready for it, because I was clearly not. Maybe about a few days following the intense vibrations, I went through a complete emotional breakdown. My mood swings were voracious. I went from a complete high to a complete low. There were a few times where I broke down, like in complete tears. There was really nothing wrong with me at all, and it's something I can't describe, because literally I had no reason to cry whatsoever. Nothing in my life had happened for me to cry in that way. Maybe a few tears here and there I would be able to understand, but not that level of crying. I don't recall ever crying that much in my life, and it was pretty bad. So that kind of made me feel a little weird. I sometimes wonder if I was picking up on other people's feelings, or if I had maybe an emotional cleansing where I was releasing all of these old negative feelings. That I'm not too clear on. Both make sense to me, but I really don't know what it was. I also had feelings of being withdrawn from people, and feelings of loneliness. I could literally be in a room with others and still feel all alone. And this is something that I felt a lot, basically throughout my life, but it was like intensified, and I just kind of longed to have someone who I was able to connect with. My asthma worsened. I also had chest pains. This could have been due to, I don't know if you remember, but I mentioned that I felt vibrations in my chest, and also in the last place I felt it was in my heart. I guess it was maybe opening up these energies into these areas, and I'm not sure why, but I felt pain in these areas for about a day or so, and eventually it stopped. And after it did, I just felt as though past asthma issues was like completely cured. So I was very happy about that. I spent an evening in someone's apartment who smoked intensely, and usually in a scenario such as that, I would have an asthma attack. And I was surprised to find that not only did I not have an asthma attack, or even a very mild attack, I didn't have any symptoms whatsoever. Whereas before I had lots of symptoms, allergies and just stuff like that. The vibrations themselves have been getting more intense in situations whereas I'm praying, or just relaxing, waking up from sleep or going off to sleep. It's undeniable. Whereas before it was maybe just like a little vibration here and there. These vibrations are not as intense as the intense vibration, but much more intense than the regular everyday vibrations that I felt before. I've been having more vivid dreams, visitations in those dreams, I believe from maybe a spirit guide. I've also been having my sleep pattern has been totally weird. I've never been the type to need naps before, and now I feel as though I need one like almost daily. I feel drained sometimes if I don't have my naps, and I cannot sleep for like a full 8 hours. My rest is basically broken up into short spurts, maybe like 3 or 4 hours at a time. I'm not sure why this is, but this has been happening a lot for me. I've been more sensitive to people, and I've just been feeling as though I've been healed at times, like with the asthma. I made a video before about my natural journey with uterine fibroids. That was literally healed like the day this all started for me. One day I had pain, the next day I had no pain, and I have not felt that pain since. Actually, there were times when I felt that pain when I was usually around negative people, probably just kind of regressed or whatever. But other than that, you know, I really haven't had any symptoms, which has been great. So yeah, that's pretty much what's been going on with me. If you have any of these symptoms or anything else that seems a little off, don't think you're crazy. Some of it does feel a little weird, but you know, you're not crazy. I felt like I was going crazy at one point, but I know I'm not crazy. This is just the process. So anyway, thank you and have a great day, and we will talk later. Bye.